Practice has been good. It's been good all week. We took some of last year's Western Carolina video and showed it to them this morning, and we weren't very focused, and we made a lot of mistakes. And what we've got to do right now is continue to get to be a better football team. And it's about seniors this week, without question. It's about playing to a standard this week because we've got to take the next step and get better and finish and close on these games. And we've emphasized red zone. I mean, we understand both sides of the ball. There's a lot of talk about our offense in the red zone. Our defense hadn't been successful either. So, and that's where you win football games. So we got to force point turnovers. You haven't done that. And you got to stop the run, put the quarterback in tough positions on second long, third and long before you can do that. We haven't done those things. So there's so many things we need to get better at that we've got to improve on those things on Saturday. That said, Senior Day is really, really important across the country. You have one. It's the last time they'll play in Kenan Stadium, but we used to say that they're very emotional. I used to tell them, seniors cry before the game. I said, cry after the game after you win. Don't cry before the game and stink and lose, because usually we hadn't played well in the first quarter because they're so emotional. They're thinking about, this is my last time, man. We'll make the last time a good memory. So, but I think the seniors get it. They started well. In the middle, it was rocky, and now they need to end well. So they understand that, and we're excited about that. Everything this week's about the seniors. Seniors will be captains. All the seniors will be on the hash if they're not one of the five guys that walk out there first. Seniors eat first. Seniors get off the bus first. Seniors walk the bell tower first. This is definitely the emphasis of Senior Day.
Mack, you mentioned early in the season not being happy with how the team started against Wake and App State in terms of meeting that standard. How has the team done in the games since?
I think that's it. Those two didn't seem to be passionate. Coach Broyles told me one time when we were playing 11 games that you're going to only be really excited and have full energy and play at your best in 4 of them. The other 7, you're going to have to be better than the other teams you're playing. This team, to me, has played hard with passion every week except Wake and App. And they played hard in those games. They just didn't have the same passion. But I've been amazed that they've come out every week with excitement and passion. That's what I told them about Saturday. Why do you play? I just asked them, why do you play? Do you play because you love football? Do you play because you love to compete? Do you play because you love to win? Do you play for your teammates? Why do you play? And if any of those are the reason you play, do you play because you need the scholarship? You play because you have to? I mean, let's figure out why we play, and if that's the case, then you should play hard every week. It shouldn't be this way. If I love to play, and I love to compete, and I love to win. I said, why do you play Pop-A-Shot? You want to win? Why do you play ping pong? You want to win? I walk in there, and you're all fighting with each other to try to win. So what's the difference? Compete to win, and that's all it's about.
Human nature being what it is, how challenging a sell is Mercer to these kids this week?
It's not about Mercer. You know, it's really about them. It's about us. I've said from the beginning, football is very simple. People are very complicated. And what we've got to do is learn to play football at the highest level every time we walk out here, whether it's practice or whether it's a game, and that's on me because they're a reflection of me. And that's what I've told them. I get ready for every practice. I get excited about it. I get ready for every game. They need to do the same.
So when it becomes foundational, it doesn't really matter in some respects who the opponent is that week.
It really doesn't. Everybody wants to say, well, this one's bigger than this one. They're all big. Coach Stallings told me one time, if you think it's not big, lose it. Then it'll be big. So that's just part of the deal.
There's 2 players, I think, that have 1 more year eligibility that are walking as seniors, Gregory Ross and Nolan DeFranco. What conversation do you have with players that are leaving the program, I guess, early that are scholarship guys? I think when you got here, that kind of happened, too, with some other guys.
Yeah, some guys aren't going to play a lot. Some guys aren't playing a lot, and they can graduate. They came here to graduate. That's their deal. And if they want to graduate, they're not playing a lot here, and they want to go ahead and play somewhere else, that's what graduate transfers were put in for. If they graduate and they don't want to play somewhere else, they're through, then we'll help them get jobs. But that's the good thing about the graduate transfer rule. It gives guys who aren't playing a lot or satisfied with their playing time a chance to go somewhere else and be eligible immediately.
It's that conversation like if you just need the scholarship and it's time to part ways. Is that how it goes?
Same one.
Okay.
You don't need the scholarship. They're playing great.
And then also, you about a month away from National Signing Day. What do you kind of do with these last 3 or 4 weeks, locking down this class, tying the ends? What goes into it?
Same thing. You constantly have contact with the guys, and we have official visits set up. We have a weekend for I think the 6th and 7th, and then a huge weekend for the 13th and 14th. So we'll bring all the guys that haven't been on official visits in. A lot of them will still come to the game this weekend with Mercer, and then we'll you just plan on all of them signing on 18th.
And the guys are still out there.
You just keep recruiting them. That's what you do. You constantly recruit them, and you try to figure out what kind of chance you got, and you don't want to be foolish and spend a lot of time with somebody you have no chance to get, and then it costs you another one. So, but if you lose a couple at the end, then you've got 2 extra scholarships. Then you look at transfers. You look at possible graduate transfers, or you look at the possibility of signing somebody on the second signing date.
Do you expect everybody to sign on that?
Yes, but
Right.
I mean,
Is that
football and recruiting are simple. People are complicated.
Right.
So,
is that communicated to your commitments that, hey, we would like you to sign on this day?
yeah, and most of them want to.
Right.
If he doesn't sign on this date, let's put it this way. If you were engaged and had your marriage date set and she said, I'm going to move it back a month, you'd probably wonder why.
Right.
So if they've told you they're signing on signing date and they don't, there's concern.
And you have 12 enrolling early. That's the expectation.
Yes, and that's an NCAA rule. I wish we've got it's a problem. We've got more guys wanting to come than we can, but you have to have a guy graduate in December before you can replace him, and I hate that because we're going to have some guys that are going to graduate in June that aren't going to be on our team and aren't going to play in the spring, and we can't bring these guys in, and we got some really bright kids that want to come early, and that's a tough thing. I hope that's a rule we can change.
So it's an 85 scholarship rule.
Yes.
That numbers game.
Yes, you can never have over 85, and that's the problem.
Gotcha.
What you? Oh, good. Close to selling out almost the entire season. What do you think the key to being able to do that was?
I think it's excitement for the future. I think it's hope. Fan base wants to see their kids try. These kids have tried. They've really tried, and we're not as good a team as the one that played against probably Miami, South Carolina, or Clemson. We've lost a lot of guys. We're a different team now than we were then, but they're still fighting. And I feel like that our fan base knows that we challenged them early about these kids are going to play to the level of excitement you bring. So if you're committed to it and you fill the stands, then they're going to play like you fill the stands, and that matters. And if you don't, it's harder. It's a harder sell for me to say, God, they're really pumped up about this. They're just at home. So I really, really am pleased with our fans and excited. And I know it may rain Saturday. I don't care. We're going to be there. Players are going to be there. You're all going to be there. So fans need to be there, even if it rains. Get a raincoat. But it's still. If our guys are going to play in the rain, you can sit with a raincoat and stay dry. You'll be a lot more dry than they are.
Do you know how close you guys are to selling out Saturday?
I don't. I'll end up buying the rest of them if I don't sell it out. This is a great message for recruits and for our players moving forward that we've sold out every game.
It's pretty close though, right?
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All
Okay.
right.
Well, yes.
There we go. Stay tuned.
I think we're beyond close. I just heard. Whatever, stay tuned. Communications is simple. People are complicated. So, whatever that meant.
What's the biggest perception that you guys feel like you had to change over the past year in recruiting around the state?
I think that we were the cool place to be. We've lost so many in-state guys that when we were here before, we built this on in-state guys and great players from out of state. If there was a player out of state that was better than the in-state player, and we are the state university, and the high school coaches love having us win because it sends a message about high school football across the country when we win as well. So I think that's the biggest thing is it's okay to come here again. We're going to win. We're going to have full houses. We've got great facilities, and the future is very bright.
Do you think seeing one or two top guys that could go anywhere in the country come here, you think that's kind of a big sign and can encourage other ones in future classes to come?
Absolutely. When we were here before, the guys that were here recruited the other ones.
Yeah.
And when you have a great one come here, like a Greg Ellis, like a Dre Blau, like a Brian Simmons, Ryan Sims, I mean, you just, Ebenezer Ekubon, you start checking that list, they recruit others like them. Because when a guy that's out there can see that the best player in the state or the 5 best players in the state are coming, they say, this is pretty cool, I want to be on that team. Because everybody wants to win, and they want to join other guys that win with them.
Going back to what you said on Monday about being able to coach Miles and Torrin, do you notice any sort of similarities in terms of the way they carry themselves or mannerisms or anything?
Yeah, they're so much alike. I have to be really careful that I don't call him Torrin. I mean, I do when I'm talking to Jeremy, and then I catch myself and I say, no, it's Miles. So, but that's been really cool.
And Antonio Williams, I mean, yeah, I know you talked about it on Monday, but I mean, he committed here as like a sophomore.
I didn't know that till I read your alls or heard them say that last night. I'd never heard that.
And then he went to Wisconsin, committed to Wisconsin, and then Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you kind of put his career in words and y'all's relationship and what he kind of means to this program?
I think number one, it sends a message to in-state guys. Look at home first, because if he had to do over, he'd stay here. That was the message. So try to stay at home where your friends can see you play, your high school coach can see you play, and your parents can see you play easily. Don't put pressure on your parents to go way off. And then secondly, if it doesn't work, change it. And that's what he's done. He has had the best attitude on our football team, regardless. Every morning at 5:30 when I walk in there, he's upbeat. It's like he jumps out of bed and comes in and says, "Hey, Coach, how are you today?" And I said, "I'm fine. How are you? How do you get this happy?" And he's worked that way. He has been as big a joy to coach for me as anybody I've ever coached. He's been that much fun, and I'll really miss him.
Do you think you'll give guys who haven't played a lot, if y'all, say you go up, you give some seniors or guys who haven't got some action playing time? Is that kind of the plan, or working younger guys?
Right.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse. But.
You did. What we want to do is win the game. We have no luxury of thinking about anything. In fact, if you look at our history, you would think it would come down to the last drive of the game. Every game but one has. So we're treating this game just like we have every other.
Didn't want to give any locker room material there.
Was there a process with? It sounded like Miles was a little uncertain. Miles Dorn was uncertain about his future when you got here. What was the process of kind of convincing him to stay, or did it take any persuasion?
I didn't. I walked in the first day and said, "You guys that want to stay, we want you to stay. If you want to leave, I totally understand. We'll help you." But I also said that it's going to be about the seniors. It's going to be about winning immediately. We're not throwing all the seniors out to rebuild, and we're moving forward. I would think the fact that I came in with Torn in a very similar situation that I did Miles, that his dad would have said, "Hey, things are good. You just hang in there and it'll work out for you."
And that's what he did.
Yeah, and he's had a great year, and he's a great student. He's going to have a great career when he gets out of here. Hopefully there's some football ahead. But after that, he got the smile. He's got the good looks. He's got the intelligence. He's got a chance to make a great living in this state.
I asked the players this question. I wonder if you remember your first big play.
First,
In college, your first big play.
I don't know that I had any. No. No, there's some, but I don't know that I would call them highlights compared to what everybody else has
tell
got.
us about one of them.
There was a good kickoff return against Alabama that I hurt my knee. So that wasn't a good one. That was a good one. There was, and usually at Vanderbilt, you were returning a lot of kickoffs against Alabama. So you could have opportunities. I think I caught some passes against Pittsburgh and the old stadium, which was kind of interesting, going and realizing that the old stadium's gone. I didn't even realize the dome at East Tennessee was gone until I watched the Mercer East Tennessee game on Saturday, and they were playing outside, and it was at East Tennessee. And I said, "What's this about?" Now, I was calling coaches because I coached in the dome. They said, "Coach, they dropped football, and that's been gone for a while." So, but my coaching career's got more highlights than my playing career. I was the smart guy who knew what to do, who tried really hard. That means I wasn't any good. And I stayed hurt, which I tell these guys, don't be like me. Don't have 2 knee replacements when you're 68. All right?
All right.